Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, class. How are you today? I'm fine too. I hope we are all stay happy and stay healthy. Okay, today we will continue our lesson, and today we will discuss about recount text. Before we start our class, I wanna ask something. Who among you who has already know about what is the recount text? Well, before I answer about my questions before, I will tell you about in this section we will study about some facts of the context. The first is the definition of the context, the second is characteristic of the context, the third is generic structure of the context, the fourth is language feature of the context, the next is types of the context, and the last one I will give one example of the recount text. Let's check this out. Okay, we will start. The first is the definition of recount text. Recount text is one type of text from various types of text in English, which contains the story of an action or activity of the author or the character in the story. The activity or the action in question is the experience of the author expressed through recount text. Usually the purpose of the context is to entertain the reader, as well as provide information. Okay, the second is characteristic of recount text. Recount text has a characteristic. There are the first, using past tense sentence. 2. Use adverbs and adverbial phrases to express time, place, and manner. The third, using conjunction and time connectivities to other events or occurrences. Okay guys, the next fact about the recount text is the generic structure of this text. There are three parts of the generic structure. The first is orientation. In this section is the opening part of the text or introduction that contains the background of an incident, such as who has involved or when and where the incident occurred. The second is event. This section is part of the content of the text that contains a series of sequential events experienced by the author. And the last one is reorientation or conclusion. In this section is the closing of the text that contains the conclusions, message, impression, or feelings of the author on the event experience. Okay, the next fact about the recount text is language feature. In addition to the three characteristics of recount text that you can recognize to distinguish recount from other type of text, recount text has a language feature that is generally found in recount text. To clarify the function of the recount text, there are four language features in the recount text. Let's check this out. Okay, this is the language features of recount text. There are four. The first is using simple past tense sentence. Why? Because it happens in the past time. The second is using adverb of time and adverb of sequence. The third is using an action verb like read, eat, drink, play, swim, sleep, drive, and etc. The last one is using chronological connection. Using chronological connection to connect one event to another event, like first, second, third, next, then, after, before, in addition, etc. Okay, in this slide on your screen, you can see that using simple past tense sentence, there are the part of the language features of the recount text. In here, you can see about the subject I, he, she, it are singular subject. use was for noun kata benda, adjective kata sifat, and adverb kata keterangan. And for the subject, you, they, we, and plural subject, you can use were for noun kata benda, for adjective kata sifat, and adverb kata keterangan. The second language feature of the recount text is using adverb of time and adverb of sequence. In here, adverb of time atau keterangan waktu. Menggunakan adverb of time untuk menunjukkan masa lalu. For example, yesterday, last week, last month, an hour ago, a year ago. And adverb of sequence atau keterangan urutan digunakan untuk menunjukkan urutan terjadinya kejadian. For the example, the sentence is first, then, after that, at least, and finally. The next is the types of the recount text. There are 3 types of recount text. The first is personal recount. He is the namely for the personal recount because his story and this recount text is based on the true story and true experience his authors. The second factual recount is a recount text that serves to present reports of events that actually occurred, such as a report on scientific experiments or police report. And the third is imaginative, the namely recount text which serves to present an imaginative story and is set forth in events or events that have occurred. Okay. After we study about the 5 facts about the recount text, the next is I will give some example of the recount text. Last month, I joined the Ragu Marathon, my first marathon contest. I thought it would be a great experience for me to try out. I had to run 42 kilometers to complete it. It was hard. The first, I woke up very early in the morning because the marathon started at 7 a.m. When I arrived at the venue, I found out that there were actually a lot of people who participated in it. We were excited to run the marathon. When the marathon started, I ran as fast as I could. After some kilometers, I was already tired, so I just jogging for the rest of the way. And finally, I finished the marathon. It was exhausting, but it was also so fun. And finally, we have already finished the class today. Thank you for joining the class. See you tomorrow. Thank you. Keep the spirit and always take care of your health. See you next time and bye-bye.